All right, we are tracking the ongoing debate of how to manage Washington's court system. Specifically, we're talking about the Office of Public Defense.
And this is something we've been talking about a lot recently. So you have the constitutional right to a speedy trial and legal help, regardless of whether you're charged with murder or with mail theft. The problem is lawyers are expensive, and even if you can't afford one, you are still entitled to that legal help. So the government has to step in to make sure you have a chance to fully defend yourself in court. But somebody still has to pay the lawyers for their work on your behalf. In Washington, counties have to foot most of the bill for Office of Public Defense, and many counties are struggling to keep up with those costs. Now, there's a lot of things that go into that, but in general, the poorer a county is, the more likely it is that people won't be able to afford their own lawyers, and then the problem just snowballs. So the other problem is when you're growing up and thinking, I want to be a lawyer, and you're probably not thinking, I want to be part of the Office of Public Defense and be assigned to defend people charged with crimes that they can't afford to fight in court. This is something that is vital to our justice system, but it is demanding work. As one of our state lawmakers told me earlier this year, it's not glamorous. Today, the Washington State Bar Association's Board of Governors met. They voted to make it a little more attractive to work for the Office of Public Defense by lowering the number of cases that can be assigned to each public defender. Now, limiting the work burden would be good for lawyers in the Office of Public Defense, but it would also mean an even bigger price tag for counties because they would have to hire even more public defenders to manage the same number of cases.
All right, so what happens after this vote? Are counties going to have to make changes right away?
The short answer is not really. Okay. It's complicated as always. Yeah. So these are the Washington State Bar Association's standards for lawyers in the state of Washington. But there is a push to get the state Supreme Court to adopt the standards as well. Now, I want to mention, I've been covering the news in Washington for a long time. One thing I keep hearing in relation to this case is McCleary. Some of you have probably heard that as well. So that references the state Supreme Court decision saying that the state has to pay for basic education in schools, reading, writing, arithmetic. And there is a building movement now to make the state pay more of the costs for the Office of Public Defense in a very similar way. State Senator Nikki Torres from our area proposed a bill to make that happen during the legislative session this year. That didn't make it very far in the process. There's also a lawsuit from the Washington Association of Counties saying the same thing, that the state needs to do more to make sure that the Office of Public Defense has enough money to operate. So far, that lawsuit hasn't made a whole lot of progress either. So it's kind of a game of pick up sticks here, Austin, that everything is stacked on top of each other, and we're all waiting to see what happens.
All right, well, we know that you'll be keeping us posted. Thank you.